Hello guys, today I'm gonna tell you like how to build RESTful API using MongoDB and Express Node. So if you watch the whole video, I guarantee you like you'll know the best way like how to build an APIs. So let's just get started. So already I think you must have installed Node.js. After that you have to install Express obviously and NodeMon to automatically reload, and that's it, and other requirements will go when we'll need it. So let's just quickly install it. It's installing. Okay, it's done. Now I'll open it with code. Now I'll make it a little bigger and go to settings and make it 18. Okay, yeah, so now here I'll make a new file called index.js. So you can call whatever you need, like app.js. Some people use app.js or index.js. Like these two names are pretty much famous. So now we'll say constant express, because like we'll need the express. So we'll say require express. So here we are like importing the express library, or you can say module, which we have installed to make a server. After that we will make an instance of it. So we'll say const app equals to express this. So now instance is created in app. So now we'll say app dot listen. So app dot listen we do to run the server, like for running the server. So and here we have to pass the port number. So suppose I wanna run it on port 4000, and when it successfully ran, then I would like to print console.log up and running on port 4000. Okay, so now it's up. So now we'll go to this folder and open command prompt, and we'll say nodemon index.js. Okay, see, it's printing up and running on port 4000. Okay, so on port 4000 we can access it. So you can run it directly like node index.js this way also, but with the where I have gone, yeah, with the help of NodeMon it automatically restarts. See, let me just show you. Suppose I am running with NodeMon. Okay, now it's running with NodeMon. If I make any changes here, so suppose I am making a console dot log. Okay, so now just refresh it. See, it automatically got restarted and again ran. But the same thing if I remove it and save it, now it's gone because we have like removed it. Now if I run it with node, now if we do console.log, okay, so now it's not automatically restarting. So for that we have to again run it. See, now it's showing okay. So that's why we use nodemon. So whatever changes we do, it should automatically reflect in our command prompt. Okay, so let's just run it with nodemon. Okay, yeah, so it's finally running with nodemon. Nothing like simple, nothing much. Okay, so now we want to build an API. So we'll say app, because it's we have a instance in app, or we can say every property got in app. So we'll say app dot get. So you can use get or post. There are two things you already know. Get is for like getting the data, like you are getting some data from the server. Post is you are sending the data, and plus you can get back the data also. And here we'll define our root. So slash means we on the domain name, like whatever domain name you have or IP address, like www.google.com. so that's your domain name, so it will run on that. And if you make it like a search, so it will run on www.google.com/search, like that. Okay, so now we'll run it on slash, and after that it will take two parameters, request and response. Basically there is third parameter also, next. So that is used for like like mostly in middleware. So it's not required for you know, like for a month you won't use next. So let's just be it. So we'll say request and response. So request means whatever it's coming, like when I say google.com, hit it, so now it will come as a request. And response, whatever I send back. So when you search google.com you get lot of results, so that is response. And this is a function, you can see we are like this, and we'll say this like, and we'll open it, so like this. So you can make it like a function, like without ES6 also. So let me show you. You can do like this function, and here you take request comma response, and here you'll see now this is also a function. So but we use ES6 syntax, so that's much easier. Okay, so now we'll say request comma response, and here I'll print it console dot log we are on base domain. Okay, now if I save it, see it automatically got restarted. Now we have to check it on port 4000. So we'll go here and we'll type local, or better we use I think postman is a better choice. Or you can use this thunder client also, like it's inbuilt in VS Code only. You just go here in extension and use thunder client, but like most people are not aware of thunder client, so I'll use postman. But in my day-to-day work I use thunder client also only, I mean not also, because that's very easy. Okay, open fast, it's so embarrassing. Yeah, so now here I'll make a request. What release, oh I don't want it, so I'll say local host, because it's running on local host and it's on the port 4000. And if we hit send, see we got a error, back, say cannot post. Why it cannot post? Because we are running get request on base domain. So we make it get and hit send. See it printed we are on base domain. Okay, so now if we cancel it, if I run it again, actually 3 I have, yeah. If I hit send again, see we are on base domain, but it's keep on loading because we are not responding anything. So for that, if I hit cancel and hit again, see we are on base domain, it's printing again and again. If we cancel it, but we want something back here, for that we'll say remove this, and we'll say res dot send, I mean response, like I want to send a response. Send what? You are on base domain. Now if I save it and go here, let me check it restarted. Okay, see it's restarted automatically. If I send, you are on base domain, so like now it's sending me a response. If I change the response to you are on, if I send it again, suppose you have sent once and you send it again sending, so already you have sent it here, now you are again sending. If I go and make it this upward, yeah, so if I hit send, so it's shown me error, see cannot set headers after they are sent to client. So basically you can send only once. So now you have, if you have sent here, so you can't send it again. Okay, so you have to remove only once. And suppose you want one more data, like you want another slash search, so you just copy it and you just paste it here, and you say slash search, and here you say you are on search URL, and you save it, and you go here and do slash search send. cannot get. Why cannot get? I think okay, it was an error, so we have to okay reload it. Yeah, sometimes it gets stuck, so whenever I print some touch any key button, so it just reload fast. Okay, so now it's running. So if I hit send, you are on search URL. So like that only you can make it app.get search slash API. Okay, okay, it restarted. Okay, and here we'll say slash API, and same thing, you are on search API. Okay, it's up and running now. If I hit send, you are on search API, because if you put two slashes means you have like you want to go forward. If you use one only, then it will say you are on search URL. So it works like this. And suppose you have with a search name both the thing, you are on search API search URL that dash second, that dash second. So you can see it also having the same base, it also having the same slash search. Now if we save it and see what's going on, if we go here and if I hit send, so it's sending me you are on search URL. It's showing me this, not this. So you know JavaScript is a what do you say, scripting language. It runs line by line. It comes here and find this as the first one, so it just send back me this. Okay, you are on search URL, not this second. If I cut it, if I paste it afterwards, now if I save it, now it will run this one, not this one. Okay, because it comes first. And if I send, see now it's running on the second one. You can see it's running on the second one, so because it came first. So that's the basic of the get. Okay, so now we just go to post one. So if we say app dot post, so for get we write get, and for post we write post, and we'll be on the base URL only. So and after that we'll comma, and we'll say request comma response, and here we'll say res dot send you are on base post API. So you are on base post API. Okay, so it's running on the post one and the same base URL, and this also on the same base URL. So let's see what will happen. Now if we hit send, so it's showing me you are on the search URL. So let me just remove the search part, and if I hit it again, so you are on base domain, but I want to go here, like it's a post request na. So I want the response as you are on base post API. So for that you have to select post one. So whenever you from the front end engineer, if you or someone else is, he will or she will send a post or get request. Now it's a post request. Now if I hit send, you are on base post API, because I made a post API. Okay, so this is the way like you can make guest and post APIs. And if you want to send some data, posting means sending some data, but here I was not sending any data. So if you want to send some data, you come to body, then you come here in raw, here you select JSON, it's already selected, and you make as a JSON. Okay, here I'll say name, and here I'll make John, and here I'll say age, here I say 45 54 or whatever. Now if I okay, sorry, cancel. Now if I hit send post request, we are getting the same thing because we are not doing anything. So here what we can do on the post side, we'll say console dot log request request dot body. So whatever you send it from in the body, we can access in the request. I told request what come from the client side, and response what we send back. So you can access request dot body. You can see the name also, it's written as body. So when you send a post request, we can get it from request dot body. Okay, so if we save it and we can see it here because we are consoling, not returning back. If I hit send, undefined, but it's showing undefined, but this is the right code. I tell you, this is the rightmost code. So but why it's showing undefined? Because we are not using any body parser. Body parser means like this data comes in encoded form, so we want to parse it like in this JSON format. So what we'll do, we'll come here and we'll say app.use express.json. so what will do, it will pass this data, and app.use means whichever API request comes, whether it comes for get, this get, search, this get, or this post, for whatever request come, use this. Okay, so there are multiple things, like when you will get a handful experience, so you will use app.use for multiple things, like app.use course, so it's using React.js for React.js website. So you will do multiple things, like it's like I want this, I want this. Okay, so it like go from first go here, then go here. If you are going on /search, so it will take, it will come first here, then it will come here. Okay, so it's like a middleware, what you call, like it's the you can I can let you know, like it's the first API, you can understand in that way. It's the first API that will be used. After that, whatever API, like it's a get slash search, get slash search, or get post. Okay, so now if you save it, now if we go here and hit send, so now see it's printing the data name John, age 54. So now to access that, you already know, we'll say request.body.name, and here we'll say console.log request.body.age. okay, now let me just do it here, one thing, name, and here I'll say age. Okay, and here I let me put a comma, save it, and if I say it again, okay, it's reloaded, and let me hit send, name John, age 54. So whatever data you send it, we can capture it here from request.body. but and if you want to send the same data again, just do res.send and do request.body. so whatever data is coming, we are just sending it back. Okay, now if we hit send, so see that data came back because we have returned the same data. But there is one problem, like suppose you have 15 APIs, but normally APIs are not this small, like they are like of, I mean like this big, like we have to write so much of code in single API. So suppose you have a lot of data. Okay, so you have a lot of suppose, and it, so then you have to write everything in one page, then you'll get confused, like you have to search where is the search API, where is that API. So for that we use router, so we can put these every API in single page, so we can like locate it easily. So for that, what we'll do, we go here and make a folder is not necessary obviously, but we make so we can know everything in one place. So we'll say routes. Okay, it's the folder name. Now here we'll come and we'll make a JS file, and we'll call it, what should we call, we call it get.js. okay, like we are getting, so we are getting a data, so we'll say get.js. you can name it anything, it's not necessary, like you can name it as ssd.js, whatever you feel like, but like for the convention I'll use get.js. hit enter. Now here what I'll do, I'll say constant router, what happened, yeah, router equals to require express dot router. So there is a router inbuilt in the express, so you just have to import like this, and after that you just do module dot exports equals to router. So we are exporting, we can't, because we can access it here. Okay, so and for the APIs we have to write in between these two, we have to write the APIs. So for the API, what we'll say, we'll say router. So because it's a router, instead of like writing uh, app dot, we are using app dot here, we say router. You can make it app also, but mainly router is the keyword. Okay, like not keyword, like is the used in the web development domain. So now we'll say router dot get, so it will be a get request and it will be on the base. So now, and yeah, so now what we'll do, we'll make the same thing. Let me just copy this thing, cut it and paste it here and change the name to router. Okay, so now it's doing the same thing, taking request and response and sending back URL based domain. And but there is one problem, everything was okay, but how come this is the main page, how come it will know like there is something running on get page? So for that we have to import it. So we'll say routes, let me comment it, routes. So we'll say const get, so whatever name you wanna make it, I'm just making get. We'll say require, then we'll say dot dot, we'll say routes dot dot routes slash get. So it's in a folder called routes in the same, and there is a file called get. I want to get that, and here I'll say destination or whatever I'm just writing as this, and we'll say app dot use. Here I'll say whatever, now I'll say whatever come on the base URL, like whatever thing come on the base URL, just send it back to get, forward it to get. So how it will work, it will come here and check for the base or slash search, like if you are using slash search, and it will just go to the get page. Here in get, it will come here and it will look for slash and it will send back the URL on base domain. So let me just check it, everything is running fine. I think there's some error. Okay, there's a folder name error. Okay, sorry, we will have only one dot, not two dots. Okay, two dots, it will go backwards in the folder. Yeah, now let me check. Module not found. Okay, I have to put the slash also. Yeah, sorry. Now let me check. Okay, it's up and running on port 4000, and we'll do the same thing, make a get request on the base URL, send it. So you are on domain, so you are thinking okay, this is still written, so that doesn't matter because I'm not making a post, so this data won't go. Okay, so you can remove this also, you are on base domain. So same thing, now I'll just remove this slash search and this also. Now okay, so like everything is working fine. Okay, then suppose you want to change the name to search, so you'll just do slash search and save it, and you hit go to search. You are on second URL because it coming directly. Okay, it not restarted, why? That's why I thought. Okay, now if we hit send, you are on base domain again because it's coming to slash search, then I'm telling to serve the get page, it's coming here and sending this. Okay, now same thing we'll do for the post. So here in the router we'll say post dot js, so whatever name you want to name it, but we'll use posts, and we'll copy the same thing here also. Instead of rest dot send, we'll just cut this thing and copy whole of here, change it to router dot post, same thing, printing the name and sending back the same data. Now we have to import this thing here also, same thing, we'll say const post equals to, and we'll copy this thing. Now this time page called is post, post, and we'll do some the app app.use, let this the base URL, change it to yeah, and we'll say slash post comma post. Okay, so let me just save it, and yeah, so when you hit the base URL for get, it will come here and go to get, and if you use the post URL, so it will come here and we'll have to change it to router.post. Okay, because it's a post. Now if we hit send to search, because search is not a URL, so it's saying cannot get search, so we make it to slash post, and let me send the data again. We'll send name John, and we'll have a age 54. Send it. Cannot get because we have to do post request. Yeah, so we got the same data back and it's printed here also. So this is router, like you can have multiple things, like okay, so that's you got it. Now come the MongoDB part. Okay, so for MongoDB we have to firstly make the schema means table, not table exactly, it's in SQL we call it table, but in NoSQL it's called collections, or you can call it like table or models, whatever you feel like. So we'll again come here and make a new folder, not in the routes, in the base we'll call it models. Okay, then here we'll make a new file, and the file name, what should be the file names, should be, I name it user.js. okay, everything is fine, I think so. Now we have to install mongoose for use the MongoDB. We'll say npm install mongoose, and okay, there's some error, let me just check. No, mongoose, let me check it again why it's not. Okay, this time it happened, but I don't know why. The same thing I ran here also, I don't know what that was, but this time it's successfully installed. So now we'll say node mon index.js. okay, it's running fine. So now we have to create a model. For before creating a model, we need to have a MongoDB URL, like MongoDB database. So you can use, like, come here and say MongoDB Atlas. Okay, so you can come here and make your own MongoDB database. So you can watch a tutorial how to use MongoDB Atlas and creating your own database. You could just go here and sign in, and you can sign in with your own like URL or something, log in with Google, and I'll say I'll use this one account. So I've already signed up, so it won't ask me like sign up questions. I mean, you can just go in some other, like, what do I say, other videos, and check how to make a database on MongoDB, so it will show you step by step. But this is specifically to the how to build RESTful API using MongoDB, so I am not going through that way because it will take like 5 minutes extra. So it's logging in. I'm not sure why it's taking so much of time. Okay, be fast. Yeah, so it's here. Now we will do create an organization. I think I have deleted everything, that's why it's showing me create an organization. Okay, so organization name, I'll say Mongo, no, tutorial. So I think this wouldn't ask you, like, because I have deleted something, so that's why it's asking it again. Say next, create organization. Let me just pause it and set up this MongoDB thing. After that I'll okay, new project name tutorial node. Next, create project. Okay, it's creating. Okay, okay. Okay, everything is done. So before, and you have to build a cluster. So we'll make a free cluster and we'll say create cluster. Okay, so now it's creating. So go to network access. So maybe you don't haven't done this thing, add IP address, because when you make a new organization or new, when you are new to MongoDB, you have to do add an IP address and just use allow access from anywhere, otherwise it will stop your access, and just do confirm. Now it's confirmed. Now let me go to clusters. So it's deploying the changes. So let me just pause it till the time it's deploying it. So okay guys, now everything is done on this side. Now we'll go to connect part, like we want to connect it with our application. Now here I say I have to write some username. So you have to pick any username, like I have picked Zeno, and password will be whatever password you wanna feel like, just use that password and just say create database user and set choose a connection method. So like its shell is for like their own application, like we'll use what, like Node.js or whatever. This is MongoDB Compass. So now we'll go here and select Node.js or whatever language you have. Obviously we'll using Node.js. Okay, version 3.6 or later, because now we just copy this URL. Now we'll go here in the index part, because we have to connect to database. Now here we have to import that. So we'll say const mongoose equals to require, we'll say mongoose. Okay, so now here connection, now here I paste the URL, connection URL. Okay, so I'll say const URL equals to, and I'll just paste the URL here, and make sure this angular bracket, and towards this just remove this and write your password here. Okay, whatever your password is. Then now we want to connect to Mongo. We'll say mongoose dot connect. Here we'll pass that URL. After that we have to pass some other thing also, like we'll say use unified topology, and we'll say true, or use new URL parser, we make it as true. Okay, so because we may passing this data, because otherwise like it will, what do I say, it will like uh, throw some warning and error also. So for that we have to set these things. Now when it is done, then we'll say when the connection is happened, we'll say make a function and write console.log connected to DB. So it's simple, we have pasted the URL here. Then for the connection we'll say connect to this URL and use these options, and when it's connected just print it, so we can know. Like it's not necessary, but for the like we should know. So let me just see, it's showing connected to DB because it automatically restart, as you know. So now everything is done. Now we'll come to users. So where we have models user, so we'll say const mongoose require, we'll say mongoose, because we are gonna use mongoose to create our model schema. We'll say constant user schema, we'll say mongoose dot schema, and here we'll pass the arguments like JSON structure what we need. So we'll have a variable or key name and it should be a string. Okay, then we'll have age, it will be a number. Then we have city and we'll make it a string. Then we'll have what we'll have, country. Let's take country as a thing, and it should also be a string. So like this is our schema, like we want a value called name, age, city and country, and after that we'll say module dot exports equals to mongoose dot model, and we name it as user, and here we'll pass user schema. So what we are telling, so just export is as name user, so like so we can access is with the name user, and what we want to export, this user schema. Okay, so like this user schema I'm exporting it. So if I want to push data, so I just import this user and we can push data. Push means insert data, and if we want to get data, we'll just use this. Okay, now if we save it and everything is fine, let me just check it, everything is running. Now suppose we want to get the data, we come into get, and here we'll say mongoose. Firstly, sorry, we have to import that user. From users I mean this user schema. We'll say const user, so whatever name you want to name it, then we'll say require, and here I'll say that dash in, it's in models folder, name it user. Okay, it will come here, and for getting all data we'll say variable data, then we'll say await. Await is we are using because it will take some times to get some data, and so that's why we are using await. Then we'll say user dot find, and find means just send back me the whole data, and we'll pass curly braces empty. So send back me the whole data, send, and whatever data will come, and we'll just send it back. Okay, everything is fine and clear, but we are not adding async here because we are waiting, so we have to make it async. Okay, now just save it and check everything is running. Now if we do get in the get part, okay, so you can remove that, and I send, error cannot get. So why it cannot get? Okay, let me check it again. Error cannot get, but why it cannot get? Localhost post 4000 slash, let me hit it, send it again. Okay, so why it cannot get? Okay, I have done post here. How come it came post in get? I wonder how. And router, it's in post, it's post. Okay, but in get it became post. That's why I'm wondering like what happened. So let me just send. So it's coming empty because we have an empty, we have haven't pushed any data. So same thing we'll do, come copy this thing, come into post, paste it. Now I'll just remove this part. So now for getting the like pushing the data, what we'll do, we'll say new user, and here we'll make like a JSON. So we have a name that will come from request dot body dot name. It will come at as request dot body dot name, as I have already told you, and we'll send the age, and it will also come as request dot body dot age. Then we'll have a, I think, city. It will also come as request dot body dot city, and we'll pass country. Okay, country, and we'll say request dot body dot country, and after that we'll say dot save. Dot save means just save whole all of the data. So whatever we'll send it, it will capture it here and save it. But if we, and what we'll do, we'll send back this data. So what we'll say, we const response. So response means whatever data will save, it will give us a response like the data has been saved, and we'll send that response here. Okay, so as you got little bit like no, we'll send the data, it will come here, it will create new user, and we'll send the name, then we'll age, then city, then country, because our model look like this: name, age, city, country, and it will come in the, everything will be in the body. Then we'll say save it, and it will throw a response, and we'll capture the response here and we'll send back the response. But we are saving some data, it will take some time, so we'll say await, like await here till the data comes, and we'll make it async, and we hit save it. If I go here and make a post request, and here we'll have yeah, here we'll have name, and we'll make it John. Then we'll have age 45, then city NY, then we'll have country USA. Okay, now if I hit send post request on the slash post, okay, we'll send it on the slash post, and if I hit send, see we got the data back as name, because we have sent you like when data, whatever data we'll save it, just give back the response and we'll send back the response. So we have name John, age 45, city, country this. So this ID, because MongoDB automatically creates ID for every object, so this is the ID that automatically got generated, and this is something called version, I don't know, that's automatically get generated. And you can come here in the MongoDB, go to collections, it's loading. Okay, yeah, so you can see users written, because we have made a model called users, and see the data is here. Now if we, an object automatically created like object ID. Okay, now if we change something, and we'll say Abraham, and age 5, city G, and country is UAE. Okay, now if we hit send, so we got back the same data. And if we go here and we have to reset it, see we got the Abraham 5 G UAE. So you know how to send up like post. But if you want to do the get is on the base URL, you can delete this, not necessary. If we hit send, see we got the whole data as an array. First is John 45 NY USA, then Abraham 5 G UAE. So this is how you can build a RESTful API using Mongoose and Express. So thank you guys for watching this whole video.